All right, let's move on to our third topic, right? Is
Yes,
there a third topic?
there is. It's
Good.
Zelensky.
You mean the president comedian?
Yes, the
Zelensky,
president comedian
comedian Zelensky.
Zelensky. So the president comedian Zelensky fired a bunch of his regional recruit chiefs, so a bunch of his top brass.
Uh
He fired them over a bribery scandal,
huh.
which I think is wild considering the amount of money that Zelensky is constantly going and asking people for. And then being really ungrateful about, which is the worst part. And then you see his family and his top officials families
Yeah.
giving their kids really expensive cars and mansions and all of that. And you're sitting here like, this is supposed to go to the people. That's what this
Big.
money is
It's
for.
Yeah.
It's for the people of Ukraine. This is insanity. So Zelensky fired his regional recruit chiefs because there was so his quote is, so it on Telegram, Zelensky said, this system should be run by people who know exactly what war is and why cynicism and bribery during war is treason. So apparently there is a mass upheaval. And the reason that this all sort of happened is because Ukraine's counteroffensive against Russia is
falling
apart. And to me, my question is, why on earth, with all the money and all the weapons that have been sent to Ukraine, why on earth is that happening?
Oh, that's
right? Is that not a
yeah.
great question?
Yes, it is. And we get into that. We're gonna be talking about some other major stuff. Major.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where
That's why to follow us on Rumble, guys.
yeah. Because talk on a Rumble, it's much easier.
Yeah.
The idea of it's just very heartbreaking to even know that Americans are suffering here. And I'm not saying again handout. I don't believe in handout.
Right.
But the fact that poverty level is going up, Americans are struggling.
Yeah.
And or take it just with this example of Maui, that the president even said, no comment. What? You president?
Yeah.
And no comment. And on the same day, I think it was the day after. I'm sorry, the day after.
Yeah.
He made a comment, signed $200 million to Ukraine.
To Ukraine.
I was like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Demented or not, it's irresponsible.
Yeah.
It's not right. And we should have a law.
Terrible timing, by the way, also.
I think we should have a law that allow for the removal of a president if you don't do what's for the benefit of people.
Right.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
But
and
again,
you're absolutely
there is no
right.
accountability in this country.
I guess
the
not.
corruption runs deep.
Yeah.
The system is broken
Absolutely
to its core. So this is not about just a corruption case here or there. We're talking about fundamentally the system itself. And so all the money that's been sent, again, as a taxpayer, I don't want to send my money to Ukraine.
I want to send it to Hawaii.
Yeah.
And take care of the people in Maui.
That doesn't mean I have something against those people.
Right.
I don't.
No, it's not about that.
I got to take care of my country first.
Yeah.
I'm not being selfish here. It's reality. How can you tell others what to do when you couldn't get your house in order?
Absolutely.
Simple as that.
Absolutely.
So, and sending over $130 billion for what?
No, that's a great
and where
question.
Is it? So I saw the images of those high-ranking officials in Ukraine, their kids living in Monaco and all that, driving those expensive cars and all that stuff. More power to you if that is yours. But to use even when I was there, when I went to Ukraine, I saw a truck. The truck that carries cars.
Yeah.
It was carrying Teslas.
Yeah.
So it's just common sense. What a truck full of Teslas.
I want to be really clear about this because people might have thought this is back in the day or whatever.
Oh, no,
this is recent. This was a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
As you were in Ukraine.
It was in May.
You watched a truckload of Teslas going into the country.
Crossing from Poland into. And the basic questions that came to my mind was like, well, it's amazing. some people can afford
That
a
Tesla
Tesla
in a war
in a
zone.
war zone. And why would you want to be driving a Tesla in a war zone?
That's a great question.
Yeah,
I
to me, it
don't
was
know.
just common sense,
Yeah.
and it became clear to me that the massive corruption that exists. I
Yeah.
mean, I've known this all along about the Ukrainian government.
Yeah.
Remember, I did the research for the Russia book back then.
Yeah.
I used to travel in the neighborhood there, so I'm very familiar with the governments.
Yeah.
Not a government, governments in that part
Well,
of.
and the thing is that used to actually be common knowledge. Before this, the common knowledge, this is not,
Yeah.
this
It's
is not
not.
some crazy thing.
No.
Before this, it used to literally be common knowledge that Ukraine was very corrupt. And there's even an interview with Bill Gates from a few years ago
Yeah.
where Bill Gates is talking about how corrupt Ukraine is, or Ukraine was,
Yeah.
is. And
Yeah.
nobody said that, right? Like at the beginning of this, the narrative wasn't, so this is a country with a lot of its own problems, a lot of its own governmental problems, a lot of its own issues. And this is what happened. The narrative was, oh, this poor country where everything was perfect before. But that wasn't true. It's
No, it
just not the
wasn't.
truth.
It wasn't. It wasn't after 2014. But a lot of people do not know that this didn't start in 2014.
Yeah.
It started way back when Obama came to power in 2008.
Yeah.
That's when it all started. A lot of people do not have the background understanding of
Right.
where the Ukraine conflict came from. It wasn't happening, or it didn't happen because of Russia decided to send military forces in 2022. No, it didn't happen when they overthrew the democratically elected in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
It started in 2008
Yeah.
when Biden was a vice president and got involved with an energy company over there.
Yeah. Great God.
Yeah, that's
it's so crazy to see how far back these things go.
And yet you will think our justice system is fair enough that president or not, if you break the law, you should be held accountable. And this is again when you start to question the fairness of the system. That's why I'm saying
sure.
It's not about being involved in a corrupted case, whatever. It's about the system itself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even now, you think about this Ukraine big picture. This is why we are pushing now towards the next front.
Yeah.
And you know where the next front is?
Taiwan
in Asia. As a matter of fact, I came across from the Department of Defense that now Department of Defense, listen to this.
Yeah.
Start looking at ways to integrate Japan in particular into the US Force Posture Initiative in North Australia. Now, as an analyst, I can just see the writing on the wall that says we're going to increase NATO's presence in Northern Australia. But if you look at the map, which is all aimed at encircling China, of course. But like I said last time, it will be the Asian allies on front line, not us.
Yeah.
Japan, South Korea, and now I'm starting to be convinced by saying Philippines will be the third one.
Well, considering the bases they just acquired, probably.
That is where I see it going.
Yeah.
So the Ukraine conflict ain't over.
No.
If a Ukraine conflict is going to be, think of it like a spigot. When you turn the water off, how's the water come out? Strongly, right?
Right.
When you start turning it down a little bit, but you still have drips, right?
Yeah.
That's how it's going to be, in my belief, in Ukraine.
I think there's a lot of evidence for that.
And they are moving into the east.
And interestingly enough, I think that that's happening because we, the public, are starting to wake up about what's happening. And the more and more that's the case, I think that's as things become less and less popular, politicians don't, in their own right, I think politicians actually don't care about what's going on or what's not going on. They don't really have their own strong opinions. What they have is what they think we think. And so if what we think is that it's time to bring peace to the world, then they'll jump on it and figure out some way to make money off of that, right?
For sure.
But it is really in our hands. And I think that we just don't know that. We don't know that we have the power here to say, actually, we don't really want war anymore. Actually, we don't really want the next conflict. We don't really want the next thing that brings misery to people. What we want is to take care of us here. What we want is to take care of the people of Maui. What we want is to take care of the people that we have here and sort of let the rest of the world kind of start to govern itself.
Yeah.
And so I think over time, because the system is the way that the system is right now, and trying to go outside of that system, I think is very hard. And I think any politician who tries to go outside the system is gone in an instant.
Well, this is why, again, just not to beat the dead horse here about the course, why we are doing this course is to understand that the policies emanating from the US government do not impact just Americans around the world. And I'm going to give you an example quickly here.
Yeah.
Did you know now there is a conversation in Buenos Aires, the capital of Argentina, with the upcoming president per se?
Yeah.
The candidate rather. You know, he's calling for the usage of the US dollar.
The usage of it?
Yeah. They want to use US dollar. He wants to.
Oh,
if he becomes president. Yeah. Why is that interesting? First of all, because Argentina and Brazil just agreed they're going to create a common currency called El Sur.
Yeah.
To bypass the dollar altogether.
Right.
Brazil, as you know.
I wonder who's funding that guy.
That's my point. That's my point. So the policies, we couldn't do it in Brazil. We're going to go with the weak link. But also, why Argentina?
Yeah.
Because Argentina has IMF debt.
Yes, absolutely.
$40 billion.
Yeah.
And you know when that was acquired? In the 80s. So
that's all
just
the way in the 80s?
Yeah, to highlight to you
that
the policies that our government create don't have nothing to do just with the domestic front.
Absolutely.
The global one.
Absolutely.
So that's just what I see.
That's and I completely agree with that. And you know, I think this is just a fact because the US is the largest contributor financially to NATO. That
big time,
if that had not been what the United States wanted, we would not be in this conflict. And that's you know, the proxy war situation, I think is not hidden anymore. It was at the beginning, but it's not anymore.
Oh no, it's became clear.
Yeah.
Look, just no further than what we discussed yesterday on Rumble about the case in Pakistan.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And yet, the average Joe, average Jane here, will be fed a different narrative altogether.
Absolutely. So, and you know, I think one of my biggest issues is the fact that Zelensky at this point is not even, I don't know, not even pretending to be grateful, not even pretending to. So I wanted to bring this up because, you know, he's getting money from the rest of the world, like money that could be going to Hawaii, for example, is going to Ukraine instead.
Yeah.
And so Zelensky actually removed his UK ambassador, I think about a month ago.
Yeah.
And he did that because he complained about Zelensky during an interview. And so, you know, he had been doing, you know, a good job or whatever, but he was like, you know, he basically said that Zelensky's response was sarcastic to the help that he's been getting, to the aid money that Zelensky, aid money and aid weapons that Zelensky's been getting. So Ben Wallace, the British defense secretary at the time, basically lashed out at Zelensky.
He's still defense.
Yes.
He's gonna resign in September.
Wow.
Yeah, I already submitted his resignation.
So he lashed out at Zelensky for demanding more money, more aid, more money, more aid, more money, more aid. And at the NATO summit, Ben Wallace said the UK is not an Amazon delivery service for weapons to Ukraine. Right? Because that's sort of what this is Zelensky goes around and he goes to different countries and he holds these Zoom calls and he wears his outfit and he asks for more money and more weapons. And Zelensky said in response, how else can we show our gratitude? We can wake up in the morning and thank the minister. Let him write to me and tell me how to thank him.
Yeah, that's stupid.
And it's like, you know,
Well, but that's Zelensky. That's the comedian language. The
Yeah.
guy is not equipped for that. We already said this. I don't need to repeat that because to me it's draining. It
Yeah.
drains my energy to be talking about somebody like that
Yeah.
because he was never qualified to be in a
No.
post to begin with.
And clearly not. And you
Yeah,
know, the ambassador said,
yeah,
I don't believe that this sarcasm is healthy. And I think that's
yeah.
right. I think it's
What
not.
also, if you think about it on the big picture, which again, at least for some of us who've been in the military, we don't understand the realities of, it's not about just the weapons.
Yeah.
Here it is getting on the weapons to win a war. It's about also the strategy and the
Right.
maneuvering. You get all the weapons you want.
Right.
Now this offensive thing is falling apart because now
Mhm.
they Ukrainian moving all their forces in Bakhmut,
Yeah.
but opening another front which the Russians can.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about maneuvers. You have to understand. But how can he understand that even from his generals and so forth, so-called generals? Those,
Yeah.
they're not. It's not their background. It's
Right.
not. He can be, getting involved in something or making policy about something
Yeah.
you don't know
You
nothing
don't
about.
understand. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what we're seeing with. So we can give all the money of the world to Ukraine, and it
Right.
will still be where it is today.
Well, and my question ultimately is actually, where is this money going?
Going. That's another.
And nobody seems to be asking that
Yeah,
question,
yeah.
but all this money that's going over there, what is being purchased with it?
Or spent.
Where is it being
Yeah,
spent?
it's gonna take us, the people,
Yeah.
to demand answers to all this or make a stop to it.
Yeah. And I have questions.
So
The questions really are, where is all
yeah,
this money going? Where are these weapons going? We have pretty much every week, every couple weeks, Biden sends more money over.
yeah, it is.
For
It is,
what exactly?
that's why I said, and don't get me wrong, it's not about just Democrats,
Yeah.
Republicans as well.
Oh,
They
both
both
sides of the same coin.
two
Yeah.
faces of the
Yeah.
same coin. I don't shy away from saying all
Yeah.
this. Anyway, well, guys, make sure, by the way, just to remind you here, make sure to join us on a Rumble because we're gonna be, as I said at the beginning of this show here, if we notice there is a great reception for that on that platform, we're gonna be doing more over there.
Well,
So,
and honestly, it feels really good to be able to
to
just talk.
openly, openly.
Yeah.
It sounds like you feel I have to be careful what I'm saying, whatever.
Well,
So,
we do.
yeah,
We do.
which is sad.
It is.
So where is that freedom of speech? So
I don't
we
know.
we dictating to the world. Well, you gotta push
Mhm.
for the freedom. That's like what Macron of France said about.
Yeah.
You remember when demonstrations started in Beirut in Lebanon about the banking system falling,
Yeah.
and he said, "No, you gotta let people express their."
Right.
When demonstrations were in Paris, he said, "No, that's against the law. You can't do that."
You can't do that here.
It just same with the dictator Trudeau.
Yeah, Trudeau.
Saying now, you know what he's saying about the housing. There's a crisis in
Yeah.
Canada about housing.
Yeah.
Oh, he said, "Ain't my problem."
Well, whose problem is it?
Yeah, yeah.
If it's not his,
well, we all
whose
know
problem is
dictator
it?
Trudeau is also being groomed
Yeah.
through the globalist, and that's another what's the word I'm looking for? Another
Rumble topic?
well, it will be good because if you make a comparison between him and his dad,
Yeah.
that would be very fascinating. I read a little bit about his dad.
Mm-hmm.
As good as his dad was, but his dad was also condescending.
Yeah.
Because his dad always wanted to show his academic superiority when talking to the masses. You don't do that.
No.
You know better than others just because you have a damn degree.
No.
Just because I have a PhD doesn't make me the greatest.
No.
No. And that's how his dad was. What's interesting about his dad and Trudeau himself, his dad divorced after 27,
Trudeau's divorcing now.
after 18.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 18 years. Just divorced yesterday.
Oh,
or
wow.
whatever.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that's not
yeah.
the point.
He's divorcing
I
now.
think,
Yeah.
how I understand it, I think the wife, the ex-wife, she's seeing what's coming as far as there is 2 investigations going on pertaining to COVID,
Yeah.
the vaccination stuff.
Yeah.
That Trudeau's family including his mom.
Yeah. Can we say this here?
No.
Okay.
No. So, but that's
Rumble,
what,
guys.
yeah, that's
Rumble.
what it was. So, if we are to do this topic,
Yeah.
it's going to be on the other, but
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
So, but just my point. My point is that how even you start to see now Western leaders kind of, it's openly, you can see it, that their policies are failing the citizens they serve. So when you start to say, I am here to serve, come on.
Well, and the thing is, people are arguing like left versus right, or like, this political party or this political party. But the reality is that everybody is failing the people right now. And both sides have failed the people, right? So like here in the United States, we have a left versus right conversation, but both sides have historically failed the people, and it's gotten worse and worse and worse. So
it's been for the last 150 years.
Yeah.
FYI.
And it's gotten substantially worse.
All right, guys. Well, we hope you find this very informative, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Hold on. I want to say thank you to Osiris the Great.
Oh,
thank you for your super sticker.
I didn't see.
That's okay.
Osiris is always there. Thank you so much, Osiris. Truly appreciate it. Well, we look forward to seeing you guys next week. As always, prepare yourself for changing world order. Till next time. Bye-bye.